All right, guys, I'm going to show you how to factor using the clown method. Okay, using the clown method. Here's how it goes. We have 3x squared plus 7x plus 2. First thing you have to do is look for any common factor. So I'm looking at my three numbers and I'm saying, what's the biggest number all three can be divided by? So 3, 7, and 2. The biggest number they can all be divided by evenly is 1. Okay, so I don't have to pull out a greatest common factor because 1 doesn't change anything. Now I'm ready to start. So I'm going to go straight in to parentheses, and this is how it goes. I'm going to look at my first term, and it's going to get split between the first sections in my parentheses, and I'm going to look at this last term, and it gets split between the last spaces in my parentheses. Okay, so we're getting kind of those crazy eyebrows. Then the other part of this is we're going to multiply these two inner pieces, and we're going to multiply the two outer pieces. And the goal here is when we add these two things together, we should get to 7x. Okay, and so if you're like, what the heck? Just watch. This is what I mean. Okay, so we're going to first look at the first term, 3x squared. So I'm thinking, hey, 3x times x works, and that's the only combination that works. So I'm going to split it up as 3x times x. Now I look at the last term. It's 2. So I ask myself, what are the factors of 2? So I have 2 times 1. That's it. Okay, so I have to figure out where do those fit in here. So I'm going to start, and this is kind of a plug and see if it works, and if not, try it another way. Okay, so I'm going to put the 2 here and the 1 here. Okay, where these lines connect, you multiply together. So the 2 times x, so that's 2x. And then I'm going to multiply the 3x times 1. 3x times 1 is 3x. Okay, so then I'm seeing, do these two numbers, can they add to 7x? Well, if I have both positive, that doesn't work. That would be 5x. If I make one negative, well, 3x minus 2x, that's 1x. 2 minus 3x, that's negative 1x. Okay, so this combination isn't the combination that I need. So I flip it. What if I put the 1 here and the 2 here? Okay, so 1 times x is 1x. 3x times 2 is 6x. Hey, look at this. 1x plus 6x is 7x. This works. These are both going to be positive. So I put positive here. Positive here. Guys, there's my factor right there. This would be 3x plus 1 times x plus 2. Okay, I know you might be like, what? Hold on, hang with me. Let's look at this one. 7p squared minus 9p plus 2. First thing, look if there's a common factor other than 1. So 7, 9, and 2. The biggest number they can be divided by is 1. All right, we're ready to set up our clown. Okay, so I go my parentheses. I'm going to split the first term into those two front spaces of the parentheses and the last term to create the wacky eyebrows, right? I'm going to tell myself multiply those inside terms, multiply the outside terms, and then we get the tongue with our middle term here, negative 9p. That's the goal, to add those together to get negative 9p. Okay, so I look at my first term, the factors. So I could do 7p times p. That's the only combination. Okay, so that's going to be 7p times p. All right, we look at the other combination. So 2 times 1. Okay, so now it's, where does the 2 go? Where does the 1 go? I can put 2 here and 1 here, and then multiply what loops connect. So 2 times p, and then 7p times 1 is 7p. Ooh, okay, when I add those together, that's 9p, but I want negative, So if I make both of these negative, there's negative 9p. Sweet, right? So there's my factored form, 7p minus 2p minus 1. Okay, let's look at another one. What happens if there's a common factor at the beginning? How does that change things? Let's look. Okay, I have 9p squared minus 24p plus 12. First thing, greatest common factor of all three numbers. Okay, so the biggest thing that 9, 24, and 12 can be divided by, all of them can be divided by 3. Okay, so I need to pull that out first. So I have 3, and then just see what's left over. Well, if I divide all of these by 3, what's left over? 9p squared divided by 3 is 3p squared. Negative 24, 3p divided by 3 is negative 8p. And then 12 divided by 3 is positive 4. Okay, once we do that, now we're going to set up for our clown. So the 3 stays put right there. Okay, and we're going to set up our parentheses and start making the funky eyebrows. So my first term we're splitting, the last term we're splitting. Make the nose, make the smile. There's our tongue with the middle term, negative 8p is that goal. All right, so don't get confused with that 3 on the outside. So we're going to look here. So this is 3p times p. That's the only way I can get 3p squared. So 3p times p. I'm going to look at the end here. 4 times 1, or it could be 2 times 2. Okay, so now we have to play with it. So I'm going to start with 4 and 1. So I'm going to put that in, 4 and 1. 4 times p is 4p. 3p times 1 is 3p. Well, if I add those together, that's 7p. If I subtract, that's not going to give me, there's no way I can make this equal negative 8p. Okay, so that's not the right combo. So if I swap them, right, 1 times p, that's 1p. 3p times 4, that's 12p. Okay, if I add those together, that's 13. If I make opposite signs, that's 11p. Okay, so there's no way that that's going to work. Okay, that's okay. That just tells me that's not the combo. So it has to be 2 and 2. So let's test that. 2 times p, 2p. 3p times 2 is 6p. Hey, 2 plus 6, that's 8. I want it negative. If I make both of these negative, there's my negative 8p. Hey. So negative, this is negative. So my factored form is 3 times the quantity 3p minus 2 times the quantity p minus 2. There I'm factored. Okay, we'll do one more where there's a common factor. Clown face strategy. Let's go. All right, 6m squared plus 14m minus 12. Here we go. First, look for the greatest common factor. So I have 6, 14, and 12. The biggest number all three can be divided by is 2. Okay, so I'm going to pull 2 out and see what factors are left. So 6m squared divided by 2, that's going to be 3m squared. 14m divided by 2 is positive 7m. Negative 12 divided by 2 is negative 6. Okay, we pulled out the common factor. Now we're ready to set up our clown. Remember, the 2 only job is to hang guard outside. Okay, we're going to separate the first term into the first 2 slots, separate the last term into the back 2 slots. Make the nose, make the mouth, and make the tongue with 7m, the middle term. Okay, all right, here we go. 3m squared, the only way I can do that is 3m times m. So I'm going to split that apart. And then I'm going to look at the 6. That can be 6 times 1, or it can be 2 times 3. Let's start with 6 times 1 and see if that works. So I'm going to do 6 and 1 and test it. 6m, 3m times 1 is 3m. Okay, adding those, that would be 9m. Subtracting that, that's 3m. There's no way. Okay, so that combo doesn't work. Let's swap places. 1 times m is 1m. 3m times 6 is 18m. Okay, that's either 19m or 17m if I subtract. Okay, there's not a combination. Okay, so 6 and 1 isn't what I'm using. So it has to be 2 and 3. Now it's just where do the 2 and 3 go? So put 2 and 3 and just test it. 2m and then 3m times 3 is 9m. Okay, if I add those, that's 11. No, if I subtract them, 9 minus 2m, that's 7m. Hey, that's the combo that I want, right? So this is negative. This loop is my positive one, and there is my factored form. So that's the clown method. If it works for you, cool, use it.